Welcome back, Officers Republics, your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief APGAINS. Today we're going to talk about all of the different ways that you can actually use your crystals, the best way to spend them for each part of the game, because we're all in different parts of the game, and there is, believe it or not, a good way and a bad way to use your crystals when you're a brand new player, when you're a 1 million GP player, when you're a 3 million, 5 million, 7 million, Giga Chad Whale, and so on and so forth. So that's today's topic. Let me finish up this territory war battle because I am a good guildmate. Hope you are too. I'm actually a terrible guildmate. And let's get into the video. All right, so let's build up, right? We'll speed run through. We'll start at the very beginning of the game, and we'll push up through all of the GP levels so that wherever you are, all you got to do is wait a couple minutes, and we'll tell you where to be. All right, so let's imagine you just started. You're less than level 85. You're probably not pulling in lots of crystals. Obviously, you can't do GAC. Maybe you don't even know what GAC is yet. So that's not an option for you. So your crystal income, kind of negligible, and most of your crystals are going to come from daily rewards and some subsidies that they have for pre-level 85 players. All right. Essentially, what you want to do is the 350 crystal refreshes for your normal energy. That's kind of all you're going to do at this level, because at this level, what are our objectives? We're trying to level up. You can do that by spending energy, and if you have 3 times the energy, 4 times the energy, I guess, with the 350 crystal refreshes, you're going to level up a lot faster. It's going to get you to level 85 a lot faster, which is going to help you get GAC a lot faster, which is going to help you get more crystals a lot faster, right? On top of that, we need lots of shards. We don't got any characters. All of these beautiful characters that you want, you got to get them somehow, and you got to get them by farming, and you can farm faster if you have more energy. And that's kind of you're going to get characters, you're going to level up, you're going to be happy. So you've progressed past level 85. You're 1, maybe 2 million GP. Does anything change with how we use our crystals? Well, not really. Essentially, up until 1 million GP, that's pretty much what we do. And then as we get to that 2 million GP mark, you know, we have 4-ish, maybe 5 of our core teams. If unfortunately you're rushing a Galactic Legend, this is going to be different. So if you're rushing a GL, you can use those crystals to cap off some Gear 12 plus pieces to get you to relics. You can use them for the Cantina refreshes right here, 100 crystals for Cantina refreshes, so that you can go in and get more relic materials for your Galactic Legend farm. If you're farming more of a wider, a little bit more thought out roster, let's say you have a random valuable character that you really love at Gear 12, like I don't know, Treya, right? And then, oh dang, it's really hard for me to get this piece for whatever reason. Maybe we save up and it's actually a good idea to go in and use some of our crystals to get this to help turn that tide, get her over to Gear 13, help get another relic character. This is especially important for you lower level players when you take into consideration the fact that you can't really use Datacrons, but especially with the current set, there are super OP level 3 Datacrons which require only level relic 3. So if you have maybe a team with 2 relic 3s and one's like Gear 12 plus, it could actually be a very viable strategy to get that character to Gear 13 or Gear 13 relic 3 so that you can use that Datacron. So you can turn in what would be an average team into a much stronger team with a Datacron that's going to give them a lot of juice. And especially with how matchmaking works, where all of us are playing people much higher GP than all of us, it is a very good strategy to make sure that if we do have that opportunity, we can use our crystals to go back in. Past the 2 million, we're talking more 3-4 million GP. We're going to be using a lot more of these 100 crystal Cantina refreshes, like we talked about for the previous section, on these relic materials. This is kind of the point where you're starting or finishing your first Galactic Legend. You're starting or finishing your first Galactic Legend ship, like the Executor or the Profundity, or just generally we have like a gas farm that requires a couple of relics for the P2 with the Galactic Republic and a couple of relics on the P4 with the Separatists, and we actually are required to have relics. This is where spending those crystals on actual Cantina refreshes to get more relic materials becomes a lot more viable, because at that point onward for the rest of human history, well, I guess it wouldn't be history, it'd be the future, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. For the rest of time, this tends to be one of the more common uses of 300 crystals every day. Now, it does come with the benefit of you progress more in GAC, so you get more crystals, so this becomes a lot more manageable. As you see here, we're rough on crystals, but I did something that I haven't talked about yet in this video, and we'll get to that. Don't worry, it's super special, super secret, and very, very spicy. I'm sure you'll love it. But yeah, at this like 3 to 4, maybe even up to 5 million GP, we're doing a lot of Cantina refreshes for a lot of relic mats to get a lot of, finish up a Galactic Legend, finish up a GL ship, finish up a big farm, like a star killer or whatever, right? We're required to have relics. We're finishing up a couple of teams for Datacron purposes and stuff like that. That's one of the more, if not the most common use for at least 300 of those crystals. And then extra crystals, of course, we can always go back to the fact that, sometimes you just need to buy gear. I don't think you can buy these for crystals, but you actually can buy them for crystals. I don't know why you would, but this is obviously a shitty gear piece, but you get the idea I'm trying to say. All right. And then lastly, what is it that I am using my crystals for? Ooh, big, spicy, very, very... Oh, APGAINS getting advantages with his crystal spinning. Oh, my God. So everyone knows that the whale packs are the biggest scam in all of mobile gaming history. Are there even any out right now? These things right here, we used 1,300 crystals to basically get nothing. Huge waste of money, about $300 a character. The good news is eventually after a month, I think, or two, those characters go to shipments. I think it's 1 month. In shipments, I think I've already bought all the shipments for this character, so they're not going to pop up. So let me do Trip, because Trip might still be here. In shipments, the crystal cost, if you convert the dollar, it's about half as much. But the great news is you make a bunch of, at this point, you're 4, 5, 6 million GP. You're making thousands of crystals from your GAC wins and even a good chunk from your GAC losses. You're stacking up crystals, and maybe there is something that's more cutting edge that you identify as something that could give you an advantage. And that's one of the better skills to have in that 4, 5, 6 million GP range is a lot of stuff comes out, and a lot of it's good, and a lot of it's not what you want. But sometimes something comes around where you identify and you're like, this is really helpful, right? This is really helpful. I really need to push for whatever this is. I know it's cutting edge. I know it's meta. And I know that's not common for free-to-play players, but I need to push this. For me, I'm not telling you that Afra is going to be cutting edge and amazing in GAC. I'm doing this more of a content thing because I believe she's going to be good in the new TB, and I believe the new TB is kind of the way the game's heading as far as content. So obviously, I have different motives than you guys do, but let's say that instead of, let's say that Afra actually was fantastic in GAC. She was star killer in his heyday, beat GLs, fucking fantastic, holds on defense, whatever, right? This is a very legitimate use of crystals. You build up your crystals free to play from your GAC wins, and you can buy 50, 20, 10, or even 4 at a time to help push those shards. That's how I got Fat Bar. That's how I got Fat Bar, to 7 stars. I saved up all my crystals the second we even got word that Profundity was coming out. I knew that crystals were going to have to be saved, and they were going to have to be spent on marquee characters like this guy. And we got Profundity early because we were, wise enough to wait, spend our crystals accurately. And we got Profundity month 2, which is something that not a lot of free-to-play players can say, right? We got Profundity month 2, and it's been absolutely dominating for us in GAC. We're 5, let's just call it 6 million GP. All of our opponents are 9 million GP. We have 2 GLs. They have 6. We have a couple ships. They have all the ships. We have a couple characters. They have all the characters. But what separates them is we can go ship-only defense because we have that Profundity to save for offense to beat their Executor. Right, so we can place heavy ships, no characters on defense, win on math, right? Because we identified something that we knew was going to be useful. We allocated our crystals accordingly, right? Something that would theoretically be a whale's paradise, right? A GL ship that can defeat the current meta that's hard to get and locked behind a marquee character. We saved for a long time, waited for the right opportunity, spent the crystals accordingly, succeeded, and that's how you become a fantastic free-to-play player. All right, click this video on my second channel to help support me. Watch it all the way to the end. Give it a like, subscribe, all that bullshit. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.